Hello students, myself Dr. Chaya VM, Associate Professor, Department of ECE, Sai Vidya Institute of Technology. In this video, we'll be looking into what is supervisory control and centralized computer control. Supervisory control. So the supervisory control are very simple and it is basically based on the knowledge of steady state characteristics of the plant. The main reason for this type of arrangement is that in the early days the computers were not very much reliable and it was always caution dictated that the plant or a process should be able to run in the event of failure. And computers were very expensive, so it was very difficult to afford more than one digital computer. So in that cases, instead of using a digital computer, they placed controller for each loop. You can notice that for every feedback loop is taken care by one controller, so which is in turn connected to an actuator. This controller which is connected to each feedback loop is acting like a digital computer. All these controllers are again monitored by the supervisory computer. So suppose in the event of failure of this particular loop, the other feedback loops will run as it is and only this controller has to be rectified and further it is made available to run. So this actuators what we have placed here is one which is used to control the mechanism of the plant. An example of supervisory control is an evaporation plant, which is shown in this figure. So we have two evaporators that is connected parallelly and the materials to this each evaporator is fed from this particular valve. So open valves and fed material in solution to evaporator 1 and evaporator 2. The purpose of this plant is to evaporate as much water as possible from the solution. Steam is supplied. So in order to evaporate water from this particular solution, we need to supply steam. So through this heat exchanger, and the first it will be sent to the first evaporator, and steam for the second evaporator is always supplied from the vapors which are boiled off from the first one. So we don't have steam supply for the second one. You can notice that it is only for the steam for the first one. So first it will be sent to the heat exchanger. The vapors boiled off from the first is sent as steam to the second evaporator. So to achieve maximum evaporation, the pressure in the chambers must be as high as safety permits. So we should always continuously monitor the pressure of each evaporators. That's the reason we have placed pressure transducers for both evaporators. So the balance between both the evaporators is to be achieved. So if this is achieved, driven at the maximum rate, it must generate so much steam that the second should not exceed the safety thresholds. So both has to be carefully balanced, and the vapors what it is sent to the second one should not exceed the limits or a threshold. So hence there will be a supervisory control scheme which is designed in order to balance the operation of two evaporators in order to achieve the best evaporation rate. Centralized computer control. In 1960, only one digital computer was used in order to control the entire plant. Okay, and because the computers were very expensive, later on in mid 1960, the companies began to produce digital controllers with analog backups. Later in 1970s, the computer's cost became very cheap, or computer hardware cost is much reduced in such a way that instead of one computer they started using two computers. In this figure we can notice that we have two computers, computer A and computer B. That means we have two computers, hence we call it as a dual computer scheme. So it became in 1970s the cost is reduced in such a way that instead of using one computer they started using two computers. Hence we call it as a dual computer scheme. So the dual computer scheme has two advantages. The first is changeover is manual. In the event of failure of the computer A, all its operations will be transferred to computer B. So there is a switch to transfer all its operations to B and vice versa. And there is and one more advantage of using a dual computer scheme is that automatic failure detection is incorporated. So automatic failure detection is incorporated. So this is a dual computer scheme. After the advent of the dual computer scheme, the computer hardware cost was much reduced and has made multi-computer systems feasible. So the first multi-computer system was called as an hierarchical system, and we also have distributed systems. So hierarchical system says that tasks are divided based upon the functions. So tasks are divided according to the functions. For example, one computer performing DDC calculation and being subsequent to another which performs supervisory control. So we have various levels of hierarchy depending upon the operations of the plant to be performed. So it is divided according to its functions. So we also have distributed systems where many computers perform essentially similar tasks in parallel. So if that particular computers are intended to perform a direct digital controller, all will be doing the similar tasks. Similarly for supervisory and so on. Thank you.